Good Friday Eve to you, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. I am, of course, your host, Kris Gardner. Welcome to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover on the lunch break, powered by JM&E and also the BS3 Network. Watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Musk, Fire TV, and, of course, Roku, courtesy of BS3 TV. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If not, just go to bs3network.com. Thanks to Ben and AJ and Miss Wanda Polk chiming in. Miss Wanda, thank you very much for your support. Thank you. Miss Wanda Polk was the first person to order a Houston Roundball Review hoodie. It arrived within 11 days. So, yes, she has the first Houston Roundball Review hoodie. I'm going to try something. It didn't work for me in my setup prior, but hey, whatever. It's live streaming. We're going to do it. I'm going to test anyway. You see the link there, Linktree, Houston Roundball Review. But I also have a QR code. I'm not sure if it's going to work for me live, but I'm going to try to see if I can put it on the screen. But if not, no worries. Just go to Linktree/Houston Roundball Review. And that is one way to get it. Check out the Houston Roundball Review merch. Going to see if it works. But there it is in the upper right. Y'all know how QR codes work. Just take a picture of that QR code there. If not, there are plenty of links available. Other ways, go to HoustonRoundballReview.com. Picture of the hoodie on the homepage of the website at HoustonRoundballReview.com, as well as going to Linktree/Houston Roundball Review. Check this out. Within the hour, the Big 12 announced a partnership, Miss Wanda. When you see that, what do you think, audience? When you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Roku, when you see that, what do you think of? And again, salute from Bavaria. I tell you, AJ, Miss Wanda, Houston Roundball Review, Let's Rage Coogs. The takeover is global, AJ. Ben, he's watching from Bavaria, watching the show from Bavaria via YouTube. Willie Gibson, Miss Wanda Polk, the Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective. And thank you very much for that. Miss Wanda loves her hoodie. Had a red hoodie ordered, I think, on Tuesday. So spreading that out, getting that merch out there, going global. But when you see this, what do you think? When you see that logo, that partnership, that Big 12 and WWE, what do you think? Give me your comments, chime in, because I'm going to let you know what it means. But check it out. I think it's a good example, a good indication of Brett Yormark, the Big 12 commissioner's plan for the conference to become younger, hipper, cooler, dare I say. Do folks still say cool and cooler? I'm not sure if that still applies, but I don't know. But Trent, how are you? Alan Trent, how are you? How did you as well? Thank you for watching the Roundball Review Takeover. But the press release was announced within the last hour. I was scrambling to get it together, put the slide together. That's why I was about a minute or two late for today's start of the show, because I wanted to add 2 more slides, which is kind of ironic. And I need to talk to Coach Huey about it as well. But the Big 12 Conference announced a collaboration with WWE for the upcoming 2023 Dr. Pepper Big 12 Football Championship on Saturday, December 2nd at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Through this partnership, the Big 12 and WWE will introduce a custom-made championship title belt for this year's Big 12 Football Championship Most Outstanding Player, presented on field at the conclusion of the game by a WWE superstar. Additionally, a co-branded WWE and Big 12 logo will be featured throughout the venue and on the field. And there, one more time, there's that logo right there. But check it out. Tony M., how are you? Welcome. The family's here, Watson, and got a new relative from Bavaria joining the family as well. But back to the announcement. Throughout the week leading up to the 23 Dr. Pepper Big 12 Football Championship and the game itself, WWE superstars will be prominently featured and integrated. In addition to the championship title belt presentation, select WWE superstars will participate in a Big 12 Conference community event, pregame hospitality events, and the game's official coin toss. Quote from the commissioner: WWE is a global brand that connects with a wide array of audiences. With this partnership, we will integrate WWE and its brand power into one of the conference's biggest moments, further strengthening the bridge between sports and entertainment throughout the Big 12, end quote. WWE President Nick Khan says, quote, Brett and his team at the Big 12 have turbocharged the conference, Tony M, turbocharged the conference through innovative media rights deals and commercial partnerships, constantly exploring new ways to grow the conference's reach and influence. We're excited to partner with them and help amplify the Big 12 championship, end quote. The Big 12 Conference and WWE will also collaborate to introduce an exclusive Big 12 championship merchandise line. How about this, man? Merchandise will be available for purchase online and throughout AT&T Stadium team stores. The Big 12 Football Championship game will air live December 2nd, 11 a.m. Central on ABC. Additional entertainment enhancements for the championship game will be announced at a later date. And in case you didn't know, Grammy award-winning artist and hip-hop icon Nelly will be performing during the first ever championship halftime show. So what do you think about all of that? The Big 12 partnering with WWE, Nelly performing at halftime, a title belt going to the most outstanding player, all these things. Will Knows chiming in from Ohio and Big Ten country. We're old school in the Big Ten. The commissioner presents the trophy. But, well, it's younger, cooler, hipper. I mean, got to give him credit for that. But the irony of all of this, Trent says, I hate Nelly. Nelly's like from the 90s or early 2000s. What is it? Like 15 years ago? 15? Hey, Tony M. and I, Patamon, they are trying. But the irony of this, tying it all together with the WWE title belt. Last Friday, the Houston Cougars women's basketball team trounced Air Force. And then on Tuesday, 2 days ago, they trounced Sam Houston State. So they're 2-0 this young season. The competition, not the greatest, not the best, but whatever. They're winning. They're gaining confidence to get ready for Big 12 play, all those things. But after Friday's game, Coach Huey introduced that the team had begun a new tradition. Will, Tran, Miss Wanda, Tony M, and everyone else watching this edition of the Takeover. And the tradition was to award WWE belts to 3 players. One for the most outstanding player, called the I'm Her belt, then a Queen of the Boards for rebounding, and then the Queen of Steals. Will, Layla Blair, Friday, sporting that I'm Her belt. She loves it. So it's ironic that the Cougs women's team, or maybe it's not ironic, maybe they had a heads up on it. But Layla Blair, I'm Her, and got the Cougar paw up. Tuesday's game. You see the 3 belts right there. Nia Boyd on the left for the Queen of Steals. In the middle, freshman Kiara Merchant. Well, I got to give Huey credit. Kiara Merchant looks like the real deal. She's a top freshman. Looks really good. She got the I'm Her belt. And with her eyes closed on the right, the Queen of Rebounds, Queen of the Boards, is Bria Patterson. So you see all 3 belts right there after the game when they won 106-65 over Sam Houston. Yes, 106-65 over Sam Houston. The Cougs forced 29 turnovers in the first half. I think that's right. 29 turnovers. 2-9. Steals left and right. They just played, give me that. All game long. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Final score, 106-65. Kier Merchant in that game, freshman, and late in the middle of the picture, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 6 steals, 5 assists in 20-something minutes. So the young ladies like the belts, and they are awarded after each game based on performance in that game. But I just think it's ironic that they have begun a tradition with the WWE themed belts to go along with, oddly enough, the Big 12 announcing today the partnership with the WWE for the football championship. It's a small world, but hey, there we go. My friend Kinfolk from Bavaria, I think, agrees with Tran. K-State, OK State would be wholeheartedly welcome, to say the least, in the championship game. Tran, you can wishful think that one away about Caitlin Clark. Either she's going to be in Iowa next season or the WNBA. but anyway, but Caitlin Clark is her own economy. She has established a brand, a national, if not global brand, and wherever she goes, folks make money, including her. So salute to her in Iowa and what they're building and have built. But it all ties together. Big 12 title belt, Houston Cougars women's basketball title belt. Hey, good for everybody. But this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, let's talk some football. My. Tony M, last Thursday, talking about Houston winning at Baylor in overtime, looking like Dana Holgorsen saved his job because he was getting closer to winning, finishing the season 6-6. Well, then the Cougs decided to have homecoming at performance against the winless in Big 12 Cincinnati Bearcats and get run over. The final score was 24-14. It wasn't that close. It wasn't that close. 24-14. The Cougs are now 4-6. They have a home game this Saturday, Senior Day, 3 p.m. I think it's on ESPN too. Oh my gosh. Against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State stubbed their toe big time. Big time. Saturday in Orlando, losing to UCF 45-3. 45-3. But they still have title hopes to contend and participate in the Big 12 championship game. So I think it's highly unlikely that Oklahoma State is going to lay another egg and lose to the Cougs this Saturday. Could be wrong. The spread, the line is only 7.5, which is kind of a surprise. It's only 7.5. If the Cougs lose that game, which we all expect, as Trent has already put out there, prediction 49-17, Oklahoma State. That would make the Cougs 4-7. 4-7. Which means Willie Gibson, Rex 32, DPG, and I'd agree. I think the line is too low, so it's kind of a surprise. If the Cougs lose, that's 4-7. That means they can't finish 6-6. That means the season would not be a success, according to AD VP of Athletics Chris Pesman. He said in July, and said many times since, that a successful first year in the Big 12 would be going to a bowl game. Cougs lose this Saturday, they're not going to a bowl. Heck, there's a chance they lose this Saturday, go to 4-7. They could lose next Saturday, on the road against UCF. That's 4-8. So if Rex putting it out there, Coogs sleep and walk. They slept walk through homecoming, which is really disappointing. But if they finish 4-8, true will ever be. Texas Football Channel. I'm an alum, proud of it. I tell everybody, I'm a proud University of Houston alum, proud of it. But I'm also going to call them out when they underachieve and do not hold themselves accountable. We've gone from we fire coaches who go 8-4 to they're going to win 8-5, 5-7. If he goes 4-8, how in the hell? No, not how. Why in the hell will they bring him back next season? Ticket sales are in the toilet, in the crapper. If they bring him back for a second year in the Big 12, ticket sales aren't going to get any better. They won't. There's no way. And tickets for the senior day game this Saturday versus Oklahoma State are available for as low as $4. $4. And let me say this. I haven't put it in print. This is the first time I'm going to say it publicly. I see what Tran is saying. Tillman's not firing him. At the game, at the women's game on Tuesday, 2 different people told me they heard that Dana would be fired. I was at the women's game, okay, and was told Dana would be fired. That's a shock to me. Texas football is an old school fan. Fans need to go to the games regardless. I disagree. Especially on the college level. How else are you going to show your displeasure and disapproval with the administration if you keep going to the games? You know, sending nasty emails to Tillman and President Couture and Chris Pesman. That's not going to work. You have to show money folks, hit them in their pocketbook, hit them in their wallet. Dana's not the right man for this job, period. Continue to sell out games, especially in the city of Houston where there's so much else to do. And Houston, as a fan base, University of Houston as a fan base, has been fair weather fickle for years. I've lived in this city all my life. Grew up a UH fan. This team has had problems selling out. This school athletic program has had problems selling out games when they were rolling. I'm talking about basketball as well. Okay. I can support the team, but I'm not going to spend my money to go up. You know, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. And DPG, we can disagree. That's fine. Support the team. But again, how are you going to show your displeasure to Tillman, President Couture, and the folks who make the financial decisions if you continue paying and showing up at the games? Because you know what rationale they'll use and what they have used and apparently continue to use? These fans will buy and support anything we put on the field. We can put out crap and they'll still support it. So in that case, what is their incentive to fire Dana if fans continue buying tickets to the games? If season ticket sales continue to blow up? How else are you going to get better? How else are you going to get your message across to the administration if you continue spending your hard-earned money and go to the games? That's how I see it. And then I turn it around and also say, DPG, not, you, Miss Wanda, there are diehard Cougar alums. Need more of them, but there are too many UH fans, alums, semi-supporters who don't go to the games in any sport to see the Cougs. They go to the game to see the opponent. Why else are they so excited to see TCU, Texas, get back in the Big 12 to get those rivalries going? Y'all don't want to see the Cougs play in the American? You don't want to see them play Memphis and SMU? And no. So what's the difference? So wins and losses will move the needle on firing. Nebraska is a great example. Packer Stadium with garbage. This is not Nebraska. I know all that. You give them great examples. I know that. This is not Nebraska. This is not a college town. This is a pro town. Some would argue this is a high school town when it comes to football. UH, the University of Houston, is not a fan base that supports athletics, win or lose at any cost. Haven't been. Never has been. I'd love for it to get to that point. Never has been. Never has been. Basketball, it got to that point. Basketball is now capacity of 7,000 at Fertitta Center. But years ago, Phi Sigma Gamma didn't sell out all the time. Phi Sigma Gamma, one of the most entertaining products in college basketball, had problems selling out. Football in the Astrodome, too big. Stadium was too big. Why is it too big? We have hundreds of thousands of alumni in the Houston area struggle to fill up the dome because fans did not want to see the Cougars play. They want to see the opponent play. So there's a fine line. With college athletics, supporting it, win or lose. If you choose to do it, that's great. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. But the administration was the ones that said, we fire folks to go 8-4. Dana hasn't and won't this year. So if they bring him back again, once again, they've gone against their word. So they're not even holding themselves accountable by their own words if they bring him back. And what's the incentive if Dana comes back? They're not going to win any more games next year. Dana is not the right person for this job. The recruiting on the high school level, this class, nothing. He's going to try to get kids in the portal, transfer portal. I don't understand, and you guys let me know who are watching right now on YouTube and Facebook and other platforms, Roku, of course, via BS3 Network. What was the point of Dana naming Matthew Golden getting the offers from schools in the SEC? He could have said no comment, as one of my buddies said, or he could have just been general, made a general statement and said, I know for a fact that some of my guys are getting offers from other schools. Why did they put Matthew Golden out on blast like that? What's the point of that? Putting Golden on spot like that. Oh, I agree. It's an excuse. So that's a part of it. So that's another reason why I don't believe Dana should be coming back. But Dana does not pay himself. Okay? He does not write his own checks. So I'm past blaming Dana. I'm not looking at Chris Pesman, Tillman Fertitta, President Couture. If you want to be successful in big-time football, this is now the Power 5, Power 4, Power 2, whatever you want to call it, you need to act accordingly. These beers, I knew who you meant. Dana and Belk. I knew. Oh, I knew. I knew who you meant. So I'm past blaming Dana. Y'all know how I feel about Dana. Hadn't changed and won't change. He has not given me any reason to change my thought about him. But now I'm continue to look at the folks in charge. And if they bring him back, 5-7, 4-8, whatever, 4-8 especially, financially, how can you justify it? Big time's got to make big time decisions in Big 12. Yes. For years, they've clamored for, we want to be part of big time athletics. We want to do this. We want to act like we belong with the big boys. That's what they say. We belong with the big time programs. Well, you haven't for quite a while, and based on your actions. So this is now big time football. And I understand Houston does not have deep pockets like many of the other oil-based universities in Texas and other programs in the SEC, Big Ten. I understand that. And that's where the attendance part comes in terms of buying the merch, season ticket sales, NIL, all those things are part of it. That part, agreed. But Dana Holgorsen, 5 years, no conference championships, tosses players under the bus, makes excuses for failures. Recruiting is not very good. Fans have turned him off. So what reason is it to bring him back? And you say it's a huge buyout? Tillman is worth $8 billion. Dana's buyout is $14 million, which could be paid off monthly. So take like 4 years to pay it off. $300,000. Oh, through thick and thin. Well, we had a lot of bad here at UH. Agreed. I'm a true fan. And I'm not saying you're not. But what I'm saying is I'm going to hold them accountable. That's why I appreciate this platform that AZ Jones gives me. That's why Andy Yanez, Dan Dunlap, and I on Let's Rage Coogs give the fans a reason, time, opportunity to rage with us about the program, about their favorite team. But we're not going to sugarcoat it and say something that isn't true. I know Dan ends every show with "Go Cougs." We all love the University of Houston. And speaking personally, I want to see my alma mater excel, shine in everything. Every sport. Salute to volleyball. I think won 8 in a row now, Miss Wanda. 8 in a row in volleyball. Football, basketball, men's and women's. Academically. Everything. So when we don't shine in everything, and when we, in my opinion, do less with more than other programs on similar level, I'm going to say so. That's what I'm saying. Going to take this quick break so everyone knows, and thank you to the new members of the family who've chimed in today on the show. You are watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Fire Stick, Roku via the BS3 network. Going to play this promo spot, 90 seconds, so you get an idea of what BS3 TV is all about. With BS3, changing the way you watch TV. Be back in 90 seconds.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover on the lunch break, powered by JM&E and also the BS3 Network. Watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Musk, Fire TV, and Roku, courtesy of BS3 TV. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If not, just go to bs3network.com. I'm talking Cougar football. Dana Holgerson, most everyone in the comments believes he needs to go. Jeff Traylor, UTSA, I think it'd be a great hire, and I wonder if the Aggies will scoop him up first. You know, they got more money and more of a cult than everybody, Texas, except the Longhorns. Although the Longhorns aren't quite as cultish as the Aggies, but they're up there. Rex, I haven't heard if Juan will play tonight. I think I could ask, but let me see if I can find out before the show ends. All right. Do some football schedules, then get into some basketball schedules as well for everyone locally in the American. Week 12, season's winding down. Friday in the American, South Florida at the aforementioned UTSA. Bulls 3-3 in the American, UTSA 6-0. A game, 8 o'clock Friday on ESPN2. Oh, that should be November 18th. My fault there. Saturday, November 18th, Tulane at Florida Atlantic, 11 a.m. East Carolina at Navy, 11 a.m. on ESPN News. Not sure why that's on ESPN News, but that's what it says, ESPN News. SMU at Memphis. Mustangs 6-0 in their last year in AAC football. At Memphis, 5-1, 11 a.m. on the Deuce. Rice Owls, 4-6, 2-4 in conference at Charlotte. These last three games are not really made for TV. That's why they're on streaming. So Charlotte 2-4 in conference, 1 o'clock on ESPN+. North Texas at Tulsa. Both teams 3-7 overall, 1-5 in conference, 2 o'clock on ESPN+. And the last and least, Temple 3-7 overall, 1-5 in conference at UAB. Blazers 3-7 overall, 2-4 in conference. That game 2 p.m. on ESPN+. Okay, Big 12. We all know about it. November 18th, Oklahoma at BYU, 11 a.m. on ESPN. Sooners, one of the 5-2 teams. BYU, the other Cougars, 2-5 in Big 12. Cincinnati Bearcats coming off their first Big 12 football win over our Houston Cougars. At West Virginia, a little rivalry there, rekindled. Mountaineers 6-4, bowl eligible, 4-3 in Big 12. That game's on Big 12 now on ESPN+. Baylor, led by Dave Aranda for how much longer? The Bears 3-7, 2-5 in conference at TCU. TCU 2-5 in conference. That game also on Big 12 now on ESPN+, 2:30. And we know about it. Oak State, Coogs. Oak State 5-2 in conference. Coogs 2-5, 3 o'clock ESPN2. UCF, kind of interesting. See how they're going to see if they take their foot off and go on the road, see how they handle it. UCF 2-5, Texas Tech 4-3 on FS2. K-State, Kansas at Kansas. K-State 5-2. They're one of those 5-2, 6-1 clubs. At Kansas 4-3, 6 o'clock on FS1. Last, the Burnt Orange folks, 6-1 in Big 12 at Iowa State. Cyclones 5-2 in conference, 7 o'clock on Fox. There's that logo there. The great news about the announcement partnership between the Big 12 and WWE. SWAC football. SWAC football tonight. Oh, this one right here. Mississippi Valley, 1-9 overall, 1-6 in SWAC play at Alabama A&M. A&M has lost, I want to say, 4 in a row in conference play. 6 o'clock on ESPNU. Saturday, Alabama State, the team I picked to be the dark horse in the conference. Make me look good. Make me look like I know what I'm talking about, or just made the right guess. They're 5-2, won 5 straight, I believe. 5-2, both teams. Prairie View's also 5-2 in SWAC play. 12 o'clock on ESPN+. Alcorn State. Thank you, Doc. Mr. the Dean of HBCU Sports. Chiming in, appreciate it. Alcorn State, the Dean. Oh, Doc. I don't know what Alcorn did or what TSU did to them on Sunday. If the the start of the game moving back to Sunday from Saturday changed them, but Texas Southern steamrolled Alcorn, just rolled all over them. So we'll see if Alcorn bounces back against Jackson State. Both teams are 5-2 in SWAC play. 2 o'clock on ESPN Plus. Pine Bluff, bless Pine Bluff. Boy, bless them, bless them, bless them. Winless in SWAC play, 0-7 at TSU. TSU's 2-5 in SWAC, coming off a surprising big win over Alcorn. That game is on HBCU Go TV. And then Battle of Florida, Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman's won 2 in a row, I believe. At FAMU, it won't be 3 in a row. FAMU will win, should win. FAMU, best team in the SWAC, 9-1 overall, 8-0 in SWAC play. Games on ESPNU. All right. Basketball schedules, recaps, schedules. Coogs men's hoops. Coogs 3-0, ranked 6th in the country. Ran over Stetson, 79-48. Tonight, first game of the Charleston, tonight, this evening, first game of the Charleston Classic, 5:30 p.m. versus Towson, ESPN2. Women's hoops. UH is 2-0. Just ran past Sam Houston on Tuesday, 106-65. Next game is Sunday at home. First of 6 straight home games for the Cougs. Be a third of 6 straight home games for the Cougs. Grambling should not be competitive either. That game is on ESPN Plus. You see Layla Blair with the WWE belt, as well as Nia Boyd. Freshman in the middle there, Kiera Merchant, who should be nominated again for Big 12 Freshman of the Week, and Bria Patterson on the right. I'm a voter for the Big 12 nominees awards on women's hoops. Men's hoops, HCU. Huskies lost Wednesday night. They're now 0-2. Next game not till next week. HCU women are 1-2. They beat St. Thomas by 30, which shows you how St. Thomas is not the same level. But HCU tonight playing Virginia Tech on ACC Network. Ooh. Ooh. Let me go right here. Get back to the schedule in a second. From the Texas Football Channel comment, think of the players, present, future, and their families playing to empty stands. What about baseball, softball, track? They play to empty stands all the time in the other sports and at UH. Okay? Again, if you want to support the Cougs, want to be in the stands, great. But this university, volleyball too, had a few sellouts this season, but it hasn't been always the case. This university has never been a university that supports its athletic programs win or lose. Has never been that way. Never. I'd love for it to get to that point at some point before I die. I doubt it's going to happen. Marketing hasn't done a great job with that ever. Okay. But maybe they're going to it. The new folks they've hired, maybe it'll get better. But it's never been a win or lose, support the program. Never been that way. Never. And football is the marquee sport in college athletics. Houston needs to have the right coach to lead this program to be the marquee sport. And Dana is not it. He is not the right person for this job. So thousands of fans continuing to show up to the games. Do you want them to show up to boo Dana? And Texas Football Channel, well, they, in terms of win or die fan support, we could argue that has been away for a while. But especially in pro towns, how many other athletic departments across the country in pro towns, not where the college football team or the college program is quote unquote the pro sport? How many colleges in pro cities sell out their games, win or lose? Houston's not alone in that. So keep that in mind. Houston, the city of Houston, because this is a pro sports town. Heck, look at the pro sports. Astros, Rockets, except for the last few years, the Texans always sold out because of football, but last few years they didn't sell out because fans were tired of an inferior product. Majority of fans in the city of Houston are not going to continue spending their hard-earned money on an inferior product, especially when they have other alternatives. Works for me. I'm media. I'm fine either way. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. I'm fine either way. The last few years of Florida State, they weren't selling out games. Why? Because the product sucked. That's not a pro sports town. UCLA, pro sports town. Nobody at those games. Miami games. There's a lot of examples of other programs that don't sell out, that have had more success than Houston in football. So if you want to be one of those ride or dies, spend your money, and I'm not even sure you're a UH alum. If you are, that's fine. But if you aren't, not everybody's going to go support an inferior product, win or lose, when they have other options. And when it's not in their blood, when they did not grow up living and dying and just have every breath was part of Houston Cook football. Not many of those alums. Very few of those. Very few of those like Miss Wanda. Very few of those. Definitely not thousands and thousands of them. Very few. The alums, the students who are there now at Houston, who are living on campus, who have enjoyed a different atmosphere on campus, as Tran brought up, they may develop that love the Coogs, win or die mentality and pass it on to their kids going forward, the next generation. But you know what also has to happen? UH has to market and do a better job keeping those fans and alums involved and feel a part of the program. Houston has not done that. Houston marketing, alumni base, for years did a piss poor job of staying connected with its alums. So you lose contact with your alums, and then all of a sudden come back to the program. Huh? I didn't hear from you for years. Now you want me to come back? So there's been a disconnect for years with the university and its alumni base. They are trying to do better going forward, make amends going forward. But you just can't erase years of ineptitude in the blink of an eye. These final moments of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. Back to hoop schedule. Prairie View, 2-2 men. They beat Abilene Christian. That's a good win for them. Abilene Christian, 79-74. Next game at UT Martin, Sunday. PV Women's Hoops, 2-1. Lost by 25 points at Tulane. They're playing North American tonight on the Hill, 5 o'clock. Doc, got to talk to you about this one, Doc. How did they get Washington State on the Hill? A top 25 program to come to the Hill, Washington State, Prairie View, Sunday night, 8 o'clock. That's a big get. Is that part of the SWAC HBCU Legacy Series? But salute to Coach Pugh and salute, I forget, Coach Etheridge at Washington State for making that happen. And Dizzy B's right here. First of all, I see no hope in the air about an upturn. See, Houston has lost the momentum, back on the screen. Houston has lost the momentum that they built with this first year in the Big 12. So if they maintain a status quo for year two, what incentive is it for the fans to come back next year? Well, we're in the Big 12. I love my school. I'm going to continue supporting them, even though they have ignored me and don't listen to me and don't market to me and don't promote like they should and don't market on shows like this and don't market with anything other than the Chronicle. Don't reach out to their fan bases Thank you, Doc. Part of the SWAC Pac-12 Legacy Series. Outstanding. I hate I missed that because I would have, if I'd have known ahead of time, I might have made that trip. I know it's competitive between Washington State and Prairie View, but still, it's still it's a good look. Back to the hoop schedule. Rice men lost last night, Wednesday night in Austin to the Longhorns by 16. Tonight, Thursday night, Rice women. It's an impressive 2-game homestand I got coming up here. Tonight, Georgia Tech from the ACC, 7 o'clock. And then Sunday, hosting St. Mary's from the WCC. The return of the twins, the Trong twins, I think played for St. Mary's. St. Mary's or Gonzaga. I think it's Gonzaga. But if you can, check out those 2 games. And then TSU tonight on ACC Network Extra. So one of the alt channels, 6 o'clock. And then playing Creighton on Fox Sports this Saturday, 7:30. TSU women 1-1 rolled all over North American Tuesday morning, I think, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock start. Won by 42 points. Playing in action Friday morning on the 17th at 10 o'clock in the morning. I guess they're having a kids' day at Old Dominion, but that game can be seen on ESPN+. So we're talking about hoops, talking about football. Open today's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, with the announcement of the partnership between the Big 12 Football Championship, and WWE, Doc. I don't know if you missed it or not, but the Big 12 announced a partnership for the 2023 Big 12 Football Championship with WWE. Superstars will be at the game. The most outstanding player will be awarded a WWE Superstar belt. So it's going to be, it's part of the whole younger, hipper, cooler vibe that Commissioner Yormark is put forth. There will be a Les Rage Coogs tonight. The basketball game starts at 5:30. Les Rage Coogs, since it's a road game, Les Rage Coogs should probably start around 7:45. So it'll be a quick start right after the game ends. I think it's going to be Dayon and me talking with the fans after what should be another Cougs win. Cougs improved to 4-0 and then advance to not advance because Classic, everybody plays 3 games, but they'll play Friday. I think Fridays, if they win, will be 3:30 start. So tomorrow's game, Les Rage Cougs, might be a little different because of an earlier start. So we'll make it happen, though, because we've got a sponsor. The Saxenian family sponsoring Les Rage Cougs throughout the season, so we'll make it work. So, see, Rex likes it. That's big time. Brett Yormark really working. The dean of HBCU sports and professor, Dr. Kenyatta Cavill, likes that partnership. Go with this comment here. I do agree in general about the fan support, even when winning. That said, wasn't fan support pretty strong? Yes, it was strong. And that's why I say the next head coach has to football coach has to create a connection with the fans. Tom Herman turned off some folks. Depends on the folks. Turned off the wrong folks. His style, not for everybody. That's like Dana's style, not for everybody. But Tom Herman connected with the fan base and the younger fans, the student body. Football was an event. Folks wanted to come to those games. College football, especially in a pro town like Houston, you got to have that connection with the fan base. You got to give fans reason to come to the games. Got to win, obviously, but you have to connect with the fans, make the fans feel like they're part of the program. These football fans do not have that connection with Dana Holgorsen. They just don't. And that's part of it. I think a coach like Jeff Trainer at UTSA will establish that connection. But there are other qualified candidates that could establish that bond with the program. It's up to Houston and the administration to do it. And see, it's all, as Rex is pointing out, Coach Sampson walked around campus with a megaphone. I think he did it before the season opener this year. Coach Herman delivered pizza to students waiting to get okay game tickets on campus. So there are ways to connect with the fans on campus and in the city. Dana has not done that. He said that he's wanted to do it. He hasn't done it. Dana's known for a few things off the field and being personable and having that vibe with the fans. It's not one of them. He's set in his ways. He's not going to change. The energy was higher under Coach Herman. Like I said, Coach Herman wasn't not for everybody. Let me be clear on that. The administration has to find the right balance between a person who, a football head coach that can win, entertain, connect with the fans, recruit high school kids in the portal, all of those things. It's a hell of a job. That's why it pays a hell of a lot of money. Dana Holgorsen being well paid, but his money pales in comparison to some of these bigger time programs. Well, the University of Houston does not have the budget or the donors or the financial backing of some of those, most of the major programs. I'd love it if there were more than one Tillman Fertitta connected with the University of Houston. There are some deep-pocketed folks tied with the university, connected with the university, who are nowhere near as front face like Tillman. But it's time for those folks to step up to the plate or to the kicking tee and say, Dana has to go. Let's go find us a coach that can win and win, as they have said and claimed. They want to compete for championships in the Big 12. Dana Holgorsen is not the person, in my opinion, that can lead the Houston Cougars football team to compete for championships in the Big 12. Possibly, but if you go younger, yes. But if you want an established coach, just stay on the same tier, salary wise, as Dana Holgorsen, as well as with the staff. But again, back to it. The buyout can be paid out monthly. Dana's owed roughly $14 million. I think it's $14.3 million, 14.4, whatever. Paid out monthly. Take like 4 years to pay it off. 48 months paid off at $300K per month. That's a hell of a lot of money to me and to many of y'all, perhaps. But to folks who are well off financially, that should not be a deterrent to keep Dana Holgorsen here and bring him back next season. That's my opinion. I'll continue sticking with that opinion on Let's Rage Coogs and future editions of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. And Willie Gibson and I will get back to it with folks talking sports. Thank you, as always. Didn't even get a chance to talk about the Rockets. Rockets have won 6 in a row. This is the key. The last part, the first part, Rex's comment is on point, of course. Got to construct the contract carefully. But that second part is so important. And vet coaches better. They did not do that with Dana Holgorsen, in my opinion. I don't like to hire from the jump because of all the things involved with being successful here in Houston. Oh, Tran, are you being sarcastic now that you love the Rockets? Really? Are you being sarcastic? Well, okay. I'll get back to editions of Let's Talk Houston Rockets eventually as well. But yes, gotta do it. He's not going to resign. I'd be nice, Tony, but that's not going to happen. But everyone, it's a lively show. Lively show. Thank you for taking time out of your lunch break, because this is, after all, the Throwback Thursday edition of the lunch break. But it's the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E. Subscribe to the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Tell your friends about the channel. Tell your friends about the Houston Roundball Review. I am looking for an advertiser, companies willing to advertise on this show, as well as on the Folks Talking Sports show, as well as on my Let's Talk Houston Rockets show. Different ways for you to reach out and promote your program, your business, your company on my platforms, gaining a popularity on TikTok and Instagram. So there are different ways to reach out, not just the live stream shows, but numerous ways for you to connect with your audience via my audience as it grows. You see, the conversation was lively and action-packed in this 55 minutes of discussion on this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Going to wrap it up and close it out as I always do. Remember, in case you didn't know, remind you, the Houston Roundball Review has been around since 1994. 1994. Buy you some merch, support the Roundball Review to keep it going for another 30 years. Thank you, as always, everyone, for your comments, your time, your support, your critiques. It's all appreciated. The Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Y'all take care. Peace.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, it's Friday Eve, Thursday, November 16th, 2023. Number 1, an emergency hearing was held Wednesday afternoon at the request of Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis in the Georgia election interference case. The request was made after confidential videotaped interviews were leaked to media outlets showing defendants cooperating in the criminal case against Donald Trump in Georgia. Prosecutor Willis stated the leak was fully intended to intimidate future witnesses and did not come from her team. The judge did rule on a type of order protection. Number 2, in his bid for re-election, President Joe Biden's campaign centers around the straightforward pitch, let him finish the job. As we examine Mr. Biden's second-term agenda, it's evident that many of these aspirations face political challenges requiring cooperation from Congress. The What You Need to Know newsletter breaks down the challenges that Mr. Biden faces. Number 3, gratitude is more than a buzzword. It's a habit and a practice that may actually change your perception of well-being. Some neuroscience experts think our brains focus on negative information as a way to remember pain so that we can avoid it in the future. They call this the negativity bias. To balance out this natural tendency, we can practice gratitude. Thank you. Number 4, on November 6th, the What You Need to Know newsletter covered the story of Dexter Wade, a 36-year-old father of 2 in Jackson, Mississippi, who went missing in March. Details surrounding his death were not disclosed to his mother, Betterston Wade, until the month of August, although she sought information from the missing persons investigators and conducted a search. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is requesting the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate the delay in notifying the Wade family of his death. Number 5, book bans in schools are concerning, particularly because of the negative effects on mental health, especially for children of color. During a school board meeting in Pennsylvania, despite the significant number of bans, no parent opposed the banning of books, a worrying sign, according to psychologist and counselor Dr. Allison Bash, who lives in the district. The debate over book bans is complex, and it raises questions about censorship, parental rights, and student well-being. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. The best friendships are rooted in honesty. Whew, that's so true. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with our wellness and mental health contributor, Aprilette Russell, as we discuss the day's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. Barbara Scotia College and HBCU in Concord, North Carolina needs our help. The What You Need to Know team is asking supporters, alumni, and friends of Barbara Scotia to help them meet their immediate and pressing needs by donating to help Barbara Scotia rise. Please join the thousands of donors from around the world who are stepping up to save one of the nation's oldest HBCUs. Please visit SybilWilkes.com for more information. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.